It's actually a lovely scenery over here. Look, I'm wearing green beads in order to match the album. Don't judge me. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Y.E.S, everyone. Today we are talking about How to Let Go, the second studio album released by Sigrid. I did not know this album came out until a few weeks ago. Shout out to Tom's Hit Parade for informing me about this through one of his recent videos. I really loved Sigrid's first album, and I think there's a chance I may like this one more. There's a lot to try and dissect and compare between the two. Right now, I just want to talk about this one. Wow. I'm just happy right now that she didn't disappoint. There's been a lot of times throughout this short period of time that I've been doing album reviews where an artist releases one album and I really like it, and then they make another album and I like that one more. I don't know how many times that actually has happened. Or just you hope that they don't disappoint you with something so below the last project that you really enjoyed. There are, in fact, second reviews from artists where maybe I didn't give it a higher recommendation, but I still enjoyed the album, and I thought, okay, that's not a disappointment. I would love for everything to be a yes, obviously, but, you know, that's just not how things are going to go in life. For Sigrid, in the first album, I remember thinking, okay, this girl is coming out. I mean, Sucker Punch already kind of gives you a smack of an idea of what she's going for, and it really did pack the right punch, because I already felt like she had her artistry under her belt, but it's like, well, it is her first album, what else can she do? This album, I feel like, is a little bit more simplistic. It doesn't have as many, what I would call, risks with the production. It does do things that are musical and very good, but her first album was a little bit different, I would say, in a good way. And this one is maybe from a certain point of view a little bit safer, but at the same time, she's just honed in. This is one of those albums where I feel like she decided to go with some sort of degree of simplicity, and it paid off. I know that there are some people who are probably going to want the opposite of what I just explained. They'll want some in-depth, some firebombs thrown out there in order for the album to stand out. I would say that there are several tracks in here that stand out, but it's all because of her. Whatever team she has, whatever additional musicians or producers are helping her out, great, but it's her that shines in this album. That leads to the first thing I want to praise about this album, is that it's actually refreshing to listen to a vocalist whose lyrics are actually pretty easy to understand. She has a very particular and niche voice. It stands out versus other artists that, at least for me, I've listened to over the years. I can recognize her voice instantaneously, and that benefit also comes because I hear her clearly. I don't know what it is or what techniques she learned or cultivated in order to sound so articulate, but it works, and it serves her music all the better for it. And in part because of that clarity, I feel like it hones in and harnesses the messages through her songs and lyrics that she wants to get out. And I personally would say that there are a lot of topics in here where I feel like I relate to these very well, or I at least know someone very close to me who would relate to a song like this very well. So by proxy, I kind of get it. And sometimes it's just in the title itself. Not too many profound similes in order for you to try and understand a message. Like the song Risk of Getting Hurt, It Gets Dark, Burning Bridges. That actually is a very interesting one, I've gotta say, about loving someone who does do that often. it's weird to be able to attach yourself to someone who it just feels like, oh, I've got to start over all these new relationships because I can't go back to work here, or I can't visit my family more often because of this. It's a very weird thing to know, but I know that for me, and I feel like probably a lot of other people do know, in fact, someone who has been in a relationship with someone who has kind of rocked the boat a little too much. Another song I would just like to talk about before I get to any highlights is the last song, High Note. I find this one relatable because I've actually talked to a lot of people who talk about, like, how old do you actually want to live? And a lot of people I find are saying, I want to live until, mid-60s. Some people say, no, I'll live until 80 years old, and I'd be fine with kicking the bucket. And I just find that funny. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Sometimes when you get to a certain age, it's, jarring and repetitive, and maybe in other cases painful if you're experiencing anything, potentially terminal or anything of the like. But I kind of want to be able to put myself in a condition where I have good enough health where I can still see what this world has to offer and to go out on a high note. I want to be able to still do stuff when I'm a grandpa and even a great grandpa and other things like that. This song just felt very positive and it conveyed that feeling. I don't know if necessarily the mood of that song is exactly how I would feel in that moment, but for now I'm like, yeah, that conveys how I would feel in order to get to that point. If I was a radio DJ, one song I would love to play, titled A Driver Saved My Night. I just feel like if teenagers, like if I was raising teenagers, or if, I have one sister who's still a teenager, if I was in charge of promoting songs on the radio, this is something that I would like for her to listen to. I think she would get a kick out of it. One kind of funny thing that I noted on here is I feel like there's a lot of people who really like her song Mistake Like You. Now, I also do like this song, but there is something about it that just, wants me to scratch my head a little bit. I don't know what it is. I'm giving it time still to, internalize or dissect it a little bit more. I just feel like I'm a little late to the train. Like, again, I do like this song, but I watched the music video. I read a lot of comments on this song in particular. It seems like a lot of people really love this song, and I encourage anyone to go and listen to this song, and maybe you can explain it a little bit more to me. I would love that. Again, again, I like this song. I'm just trying to understand, why does everybody else love it? So we'll see how I feel about that maybe a little later on in the year. Okay, time for some highlights. The first one I have to play for you is Thank Me Later. This is one where I feel like you need to give this one the shot in order to understand these are the things she likes to write about, and these are the things that make her artistry more and more cemented as something that people should pay attention to. This song is just fun for the prospect of needing backups for anything, really. I get that she's probably trying to point it into particular topics, but I feel like, I can relate that to so much more. The second one I want to highlight is Mirror. I like that this is a self-positivity song without becoming pretentious, without all of the stupid self-love ideas. It actually is very genuine. I really admire that about this song because it feels real and not fake. The third highlight I want to get to is Bad Life. She duets this with Bring Me the Horizon. It is the only feature, or collaboration, however you want to view it, that she has in this album. Despite the fact that it blends really well having the two artists together, there is so much truth in this song where I feel like other people should be sharing this with other people who are having a hard time. Really talking about people who can't really see beyond the bad thing that they're experiencing today, in this moment, or however long it actually happened. A brighter tomorrow is always possible. It always is. I actually think I will get emotional if I keep talking about this song, so I'll get into one more highlight. That highlight will be the song Grow. The reason I just want to highlight this song is just, it's actually one of the most beautiful acoustic songs I've heard in a very long time. That is all I could think about was, how sincerely beautiful is this? There's so much more depth I could go into, but that note alone could probably get you hooked into listening to it, which is kind of my goal here, is trying to get you to listen to this song. And the whole album, honestly. Sigrid, you're making me feel things I didn't think I was going to experience when talking about this album right now, actually. All right, I'm going to hold myself here. Let's wrap up into this last part here. All right, so now we've listened and reviewed this album, and we have the following grades in the following categories here. So, now, the question. How would I recommend this album? I'm going to give it...
Yes. 1,000 times yes.
Again, I think that there are things about her first album that potentially I do like more, but the whole thing here, gosh, it's like its pure purpose was to be beautiful and to just be like a comforting, consoling blanket or something. I don't know. There's a lot of analogies I guess I could have tried to come up with the right beforehand. But really, Sigrid, thank you. I'm actually very surprised how emotional I'm feeling about this right now. I'm feeling pretty warm on the inside. Thank you for bringing us this album, and I wish you luck with all of your future endeavors, especially in music, obviously, but keep at it. You are a rising star. I do hope that you become more of a household name because your music, it's doing the right kind of things that music is supposed to do. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow me in my social media links down in the description below, and be sure to leave a comment about what you think I should review next, or anything else that you think I could talk about in the realm of entertainment. But above all, remember to chase excellence, chase quality, chase yes. Remember, we are your entertainment specialists.